Hi, I'm Mitchell Kalaji, and today we are here to talk to you about bees. But first, imagine eating a pizza. The crunchy crust, the warm sauce, the melty cheese, the sizzling pepperonis. Now, what does this have to do with bees? Well, I'll tell you, bees are responsible for pollinating the wheat, the tomatoes, and even helping the grass grow that the cows eat. So, without bees, we wouldn't have these ingredients and many other ingredients that we use every day. In fact, bees are crucial for the proper functioning of our planet, and saving the bees will aid in saving our food and ultimately ourselves. Now, over to Mackenzie.
So, I'm Mackenzie, as he said. And also, as he said, bees are crucial in the cycle of life that keeps us living, and plants living, and many other organisms living. Over the course of the speech, we will give 3 main points: what bees do or bee functions, what bees struggle with or bee struggles, and what we can do to help bees or bee help. So, without further ado, I'll give it to AJ for what bees do.
Hello everybody, my name is AJ. So, I don't think it's stated enough that bees are kind of important. How many of you like to eat? I think all of you. So according to the FAO, which is the the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, kind of a big deal, United Nations, 75% of all crops on planet Earth are pollinated by bees. So that's a lot of food, guys. 75% of 7 billion, I can't even think of the math. And how many of you like sprawling fields of flowers and beautiful yellows and big luscious forests? Yeah, 90% of that is because of bees. So bees are important to about every single plant life and organism on this planet. And next I'm going to give it to Mackenzie to talk about bee struggles.
Thank you. All right, so bees are dying for many reasons, but one of the number 1 reasons is colony collapse disorder. And that's when a lot of the bees leave the hive for one reason or another, and that kills the bees themselves, which have no hive, and then the overall hive. So this can happen for many reasons, but the main 2 are neonicotinoids and pest and disease. So neonicotinoids are insecticides, and according to an article by the Washington Post, what makes the neonicotinoids so dangerous is that they spread to more than just where they were placed. They seep into the soil or the air, and they can spread, killing much more than what it's intended to. And then pest and disease. Number 1 is varroa mites, and according to the University of Kentucky Entomology Department, varroa mites are pests that go into the hive and then they suck the blood out of drones, worker bees, or baby bees. And when this happens, the baby bees can grow to be deformed without wings or legs or something, and that ultimately causes the hive to collapse, either from bees trying to escape or just because the bees die from all the blood sucking. And then a vicious disease that bees have is the Nosema virus. And the Nosema virus happens when bees eat infected food. And according to the Department of Environment and Primal Industries, when bees eat infected food, it goes in and starts to eat at their stomach lining and their internal cells, which ultimately leads to the slow demise of the bees. And the bees will excrete this and then just spread it more and more and more. And now I will give it to Mitchell to how we can help.
We can help the bees by stopping or drastically reducing the use of neonicotinoids, which, as Mackenzie said, are an agricultural insecticide and that cause colony collapse disorder and other things debilitating bees. So if we can find other chemicals that will produce the same result without all the negatives, that could help drastically. Second, the varroa mites, which attach to the bees and essentially destroy them. We can help get rid of those by using apistan strips near the hives. These are simple strips laced with a chemical that, when hanging near the hives, help kill off the varroa mites, and they'll drop off. So a beekeeper can test his hives, if they have the varroa mites, by hanging one near it and putting a sticky board underneath that will catch them. After a few days, if the board is full of varroa mites, he knows that hive is infected and needs to quarantine it and check all the surrounding hives too. Third is the Nosema virus. The Nosema virus is treated differently in different states because it's more prevalent in some. In fact, in Minnesota, they use 2 gallons of fumagillin, which is a heavy medicated syrup. Whereas in California, they recommend only using 1 gallon of fumagillin to treat the Nosema virus. Now, AJ will sum up all that you've heard today.
So bees, as we can see, are crucial for the proper functioning of Earth. Everything that lives here, everything that eats here, breathes here, kind of needs bees. So saving the bees not only saves our planet, but it ultimately saves us. We've gone over the functions of bees, how they're important, what they do. We've gone over the struggles, collapse disorder, neonicotines, and other causes, and we told you how you can help. Now I'm going to give it to Mitch, Mackenzie, for our call to action.
All right, so the main thing that we can do, we're not all beekeepers, but simply supporting the beekeepers is very crucially important because the beekeepers is what is the main weapon that we have for saving the bees. So, in conclusion, we should all be honeys and help bees get out of their sticky situations.